morning, gals and guys. It's Steph with Tiny's Garden, and today I am out in the greenhouse going to start my sweet peas. I'm starting half of my sweet pea stash in here in the greenhouse. Around 16 degrees is where they want to germinate in the greenhouse from what I've read. However, if we look over here, this is where all my ranunculus are starting to pre-sprout, and they like to be in here around 40 to 50 degrees. So it's going to be a bit of an experiment this year. Last year I started them inside and the year before that and had great luck. So if you're starting them inside, my room temperature was fine, which is right around 70 to 73. I think ideally 68 is the best temperature for them to germinate inside at, but I was fine at 70 to 73. So we're going to try soil blocking with the bigger soil block, which is, where is it? I've already lost something. Right here she is. Using the bigger soil block option because sweet peas have such big roots that you don't want to use the smaller one, you want to use the bigger one. So I am going to do that today, and we're going to see how they do with starting them in the greenhouse. I've seen someone else do this as well and had good luck. Blossom and Branch Flower Farm. I'm blanking on her name, but this is how she does it, and so I'm going to try the same thing. I'll link her video below because it is great as well, and she's been doing this for a long time, so check her out. But as I said, I'm going to do half of my stash in here, and then the other half I am going to start inside the house as usual for insurance purposes. One other thing, last year when I brought my sweet peas out to harden off, the mice got into them. So I bought some of this. Thank you to my subscribers who recommended that. It is Rat Magic. It repels rodents from Bonide, and let me tell you, it is a strong scent. I started to put one out because I don't want them to get into my ranunculus either, and it is strong. I put it back in. I'm gonna wait till I've got these made and then I'll put them out, but it should prevent mice from getting into my sweet peas, which happened last year, and prevent them from also getting into my ranunculus. So thanks again for the subscribers who recommended this. So let's get ready to rumble. I've got compost in here. My Vermont Compost Company Fort V potting soil is what I'm using for my soil blocking. I am doing the ratio of 3:1 for soil to water. So I've got 6 of these cups, these big fair cups is all it is, of dirt in here, so I'm going to put 2 cups of water and mix it all up. Let's go. I'm just using a potato masher to mash this up. I think that's good there. Now I'm going to come in with the soil blocker, and if you're wondering how I got this on here, it's just a rubberized coating. I'll link the video down below showing how my husband did that for me, but it helps keep it a little more comfortable. So this is my first time trying the bigger soil block. I believe it's the 2 or 3 incher, but it's the bigger one of the 2. I have the smaller one inside, but as I said, sweet peas want the bigger one. So let's break this baby in. Here we go, first one, pressing down. A little bit of debris, but not bad. Pretty good. Here we are, first tray is complete. I'm pretty happy with that. I was able to fit 24 on these trays that I bought. I'll link that down below. I got these from Amazon. So far they're working really well for me for soil blocking. And I've got 4 of them, so I can fit 96 on there. And I've actually got 88 seeds that I'm going to sow today. So I'll have a couple extra. My trays match my shirt today. How fun is that? I made this shirt. If you're interested, I'll put the Etsy link below to it. It's a sweatshirt that says support your local flower farmer, and fun colors, kind of vintagey, and I think it's hilarious that I match my trays today. Really color coordinated. So let's get these sweet peas sowed. Yesterday morning, I split these up by variety and let them soak for 24 hours in water. So I know which sweet pea is which, and they are going to be easier to germinate because they're softened by that 24-hour soak. Let's quickly go through the varieties. Castlewellan, Earl Grey, Nimbus, White Frills, Edith Flanagan, Raspberry Flake, Balmoral. This is the one I'm most excited for out of this group. And Blue Shift. All these seeds are from Floret, and there's about 11 seeds in each variety. So that means on my tray of 24, I can fit about 2.5 varieties. So I've simply labeled with painter's tape and a garden marker which varieties are on which tray. I'm simply going to come in and put 1 to 2 in each hole. I'm probably just going to do 1. That might mean some don't germinate, but I'm okay with that. I'm going to go up and down the rows, drop them in where there's been a little imprint from the black squares that are in the soil blocker. And then I'll come in with some dirt and cover those up a bit. So germinating these in the greenhouse like this will take about 10 to 21 days around 60 degrees. So it may be a little longer, maybe a little shorter, depending how the greenhouse stays warm. Now I simply use an electric heater with a extension cord up to the house to keep this heated if I need to. So it's not the most sophisticated system, but it seems to get the job done. Now, if I were doing these inside, and with the ones that I will do inside, it'll probably take less time to germinate because it will be warmer. So it'll be interesting this year to see the difference between the ones that I'm growing on in the greenhouse and sowing in the greenhouse versus the ones that I'm starting inside. No matter what, all of them will eventually come out to the greenhouse because sweet peas do like colder temperatures to grow on in. So after they get about 2 to 3 sets of true leaves on inside, I would start bringing them out to grow on in the greenhouse because it is cooler. One benefit of the soil blocking is that the sweet pea roots won't get as bound. I had that problem big time last year. I started them on inside, grew them on in there a little bit, and they were pretty big by the time they got out here. I should have moved them out here sooner, and some of them just deteriorated in their trays because they got so root bound. I didn't plant them out as soon as I should have. So this year I'm going to try and get them out as soon as I can, shortly before the last frost or right after the last frost, because again, these guys can take a light frost. So I'm gonna push them to their limit this year and we'll see what we get. So I'm gonna finish up all these trays and then I'll come and meet you again at the end. A couple things I want to mention. As I am putting these soil blocks on the tray, you can see I'm putting them pretty close together, but I'm leaving the front part of the tray bare, and that's so that this can be a well for when I come in to water. So I'll water using something I can pour out of and just water right into that space there that serves as my well, and then the soil blocks will soak up the water from underneath. So I'm never pouring over the soil blocks to water, but So far, these soil blocks are looking pretty good, I think. All you soil block veterans that have been doing this for a while, tell me, are these looking okay? For right now, I think so far so good. If you're on the fence about soil blocking or you've been wanting to try it, I highly recommend giving it a try. I've just been doing it for a couple weeks now and I really enjoy it. It's nice to work with my hands. With the instrument, it's also pretty easy and fast, and you don't have to deal with the plastic cell trays of cleaning them out, all of that you have to do at the end of the year. I loathe that part. So basically what I'm trying to say is try it. If you're thinking about it, I recommend trying it. Well, two different varieties in that one. Oh well. Okay, we are on the last tray. Woo woo! And I only have 16 more to do. So instead of doing a full 6 rows, I'm just gonna do 4 rows so I don't waste any soil. Let's finish it up. All good. Just like that, we are done. So these soil blocks will sit here for 10 to 21 days until they germinate, and hopefully we have a high germination rate, and then they will continue to be in here and grow on until they find their home outside. What I'm going to do now is put those wrap packs out beside them and also beside the ranunculus so we can keep the mice away. Woo! That's strong. It's very clovey. Very clovey, but if it keeps the mice away, I'm happy to do that for my flowers. And here we are, all settled in. You can see those mice packs are just flanking on each side of them. And cross your fingers and wish me luck. But I think that was a very good try for my first attempt at the big soil blocker with these sweet peas. I will come out and check on these every day, and if they need water, I will water in the well in that blank space that I showed you a little bit ago. It'll be interesting to see how these grow in here this year. I'm also going to start some inside in the next couple days so I can compare between inside and outside, and then in a few weeks, actually several weeks, when it's about 6 to 8 weeks before my last frost, I'm also going to start another round of sweet peas and see how they do, starting them closer to the last frost date. So a lot of experiments this year with sweet peas, but I think it should be fun and very informative toward the end of the season till I can figure out which method I really like to use the best and roll with that. Please comment below and let me know how you're growing your sweet peas this year, what your favorite variety is. Sweet peas, if you're unfamiliar with them, they have the best smell in the entire world. It is just a heavenly scent, and they're so beautiful. They don't last, Axel, knocking the camera around, they don't last too long in a vase, about 4 to 5 days max, but I still think they're so worth it. And I've grown them before right behind me in my small cut flower garden along the fence with lots of different colors, and it's just beautiful. Absolutely spectacular. So I highly recommend trying them if you haven't before. And remember to subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet. I would love to have you here to follow along with all things garden. I'm also in Zone 5B. If you have not been following me and this is the first video you're watching of me, I am in Zone 5B, so take note that everything I'm doing is based on that zone and my last frost date of May 2nd. All right, everybody, that is a wrap. Thank you for coming on this journey with me, and we will see you in the next one. Happy planting, everybody. Bye.